Okay, so in our user model, I
Yeah.
had to change from this to this. I think for this to work, because the example that the RSpec that we were looking at, this one,
Right.
they were using this hash. I think this is some sort of hash map or something like that. I'm not sure what this is, but so I think both are just same.
Okay.
So I have to delete that.
So you're following that link, right?
Yeah, that link.
Okay.
And that link has some other more stuff, like name is divided into first name and last name, and they have more fields. I mean, more columns than us. So I had to delete some other stuff. And yeah, I have to modify some stuff. So yeah, basically I just copy paste most of the stuff. And if I do RSpec, yeah, did you see that it's failing at click link sign in with Google? So it is passing up to here. For some reason, I mean, there exists a link called sign in with Google, but I cannot click on that link, or when I click, it fails for some reason.
Can you go back to the error?
Yeah.
Why is
So
it clicking the link? It shouldn't be clicking, because if you're clicking it, it's going to go to the external service, which we're not testing, which we're not trying to test. Like, it should,
that's
right?
it.
That's
But
weird.
but that's exactly how they do it.
Let me see. Click link. Is there another undefined method?
That I think I can show you what might be the problem.
For RB.
Yeah. So from RB, line number 8 is
In users.
user model.
Yeah.
That's here. Token.
The token? Okay.
Yeah. And also it is failing at create sessions controller. Sessions controller. Yeah. So I think they are creating a new user, something like that here. So it failed to create a user, so user is nil. I don't know, something like that.
Hmm. That is weird.
It's weird.
Can you send me that link?
Yeah, sure.
Well, does the link on our page say sign in with Google? Or does it say something else?
Mm,
Let me check.
yeah.
Rails S dash P.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it should be right. Like,
Uh, I'll check right now.
like,
Yeah, it says
yeah,
sign in with Google.
yeah. I mean, there is a link called sign in with Google because the last test passes.
Hmm.
Uh, like if you want to see what the entire page looks like, I can show you that.
The what?
Entire page. Give me a minute.
Okay. That's if you comment out the click link thing.
Yeah,
What does it say? You selected define text, Jesse. Okay,
yeah.
but it just says sign in with Google.
Bumps on with Google. Oh, that's good. That's entire page.
Hmm.
Um, because we are in the home page. Um, so we already have this link, sign in with Google. So why can't we click this? I mean, maybe it is already clicking, but it is failing elsewhere. I'm not sure.
Not sure. Did you read ahead to see if they changed it? If they changed the RSpec file?
Yeah, I think I've read that everything. Uh,
That is really weird. Did you do all this route stuff?
no, I didn't because we already did most of the stuff, right? All the
I
routes.
believe so. Let me go to our routes file. See something. Well, huh. We don't have the routes that they have defined.
Oh,
I don't know if it should mean anything though.
our aspect for model almost works, except the last one.
Okay.
Uh, can show you where it fails. Yeah, like the time. Well, the time. What? Yeah, the time is really close.
But it's the
The,
same time though, no?
yeah, the milliseconds are different though.
Oh,
Milli.
that's because like it's real time.
Yeah,
That kind of sucks.
yeah. So you have to figure
Like
out
we
some.
can't change how fast
Yeah, right.
the Cloud9 does something. Shit. Huh. Man, if only we originally worked with this link instead of directly doing
Yeah, right,
the Google stuff.
right.
Huh. Do we have that stuff set up where it's like omniauth.test mode? It's true. Oh yeah, we do. And then
Our aspect for model works right now. Like
it works.
for model, yeah.
The user spec.
No, yeah, user spec works. I just made converted to I, so
Okay.
so it works. So we are like halfway there for our spec.
Okay. Um.
So what were you saying?
No, nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Let's see. How about instead of doing visit root path, we do visit. Oh no, never mind. So it has the link. Sign in with Google.
Yes, it has a link. Sign it with Google.
But click on the link.
I think click on the link works, but that process fails. After clicking, that then it fails.
This is so weird.
Maybe it doesn't get the token. I don't know. Why token? I don't know.
Um, run our spec again. See what's up. Let me like Google the error.
Yeah, okay.
No method error
Yeah.
for click link. You know, I'm looking this up, and why is this saying undefined method 2 brackets?
I don't know.
It should be saying undefined method click link, which
Yeah,
I'm not understanding.
I mean that's why I think click link works, but what like after clicking the link it fails.
Right, man. Cause I'm looking at like I googled the error,
Uh-huh.
and where we're how we have. So you see how the error, our error says failure error click link, right? No method error, undefined method, and then the empty brackets.
Right.
Other people are having, instead of the empty brackets, it says click link. So yeah, click link is working, but what the hell does this empty bracket mean? What method is calling an empty bracket?
I think that's
Is that an internal?
that's why it says in the next line. Uh, I think it is not like it is failing at token. Like it's line number 8.
In
Like
the users.
yeah, users.rp model.
Oh, like it's not getting a token or something like
Yeah,
that?
something like that.
Hmm. Okay. I possibly think I know what it is.
What might be what?
So do you see how this old auth token thing, right? The auth whatever is a multi-dimensional array.
Right.
So online, someone says it's being initialized, which means, and then remember how the professor said that the user has to actually exist in the database?
Right.
I think we have to actually like create some user like in the database. So like so if I sign in with Google and I pick like BU Meals Share or whatever.
Uh-huh. But if you
Oh wait, yeah, I'm not sure.
check out our Google login spec, we already created a mock right there.
Yeah, made a mock. Uh,
Or should this be should we make something that's already in the database? Like the name should be BU Wheelchair, something like that.
I don't know. I have no clue. What was the old stuff we had in the user file? Do you remember
Uh,
that? Could it possibly be that?
but if we do that, it wouldn't work. I think everything just fails. Yeah. It has to be a hash.
Man, this sucks. I honestly have no clue. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Um, do you want to ask the professor to help us?
I mean, you already sent her a message, right?
Yeah, but I didn't send it to her today. Like,
Okay.
but yeah, I feel like she should have replied, right?
Yeah, she sent it for you. Yeah.
I said we were free before 5. Um, she's online.
Okay.
Um, copy this link. I'll just message her directly.
Okay.
Yeah, I messaged her. Like, we're gonna need her help. We can't do this by ourselves.
Right.
I can't believe it's because we just have to freaking do these tests
Yeah.
when we know it works.
Right.
Oh, she messaged. Yeah, she said she's free. I sent her the Hangout link.
Okay.
Do you want to just like
Yeah.
describe to her what's going on?
Sure.
Because you would have, yeah, you would be able to explain it more because you were working on the RSpec file.
But there's some problem. Like I can show you that. I just ran the app and it just failed. Oh yeah. Session is ready.
Huh? That's weird.
I think I know. I think I know.
What does that link's session controller say to put? The thing is, we changed our user model to look like that link's user model,
Um,
which means we have to change our session controller create to also look like that.
okay again.
Hello?
Oh, Professor.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. How are
Okay.
you?
Oh, I don't know, hanging in there, I guess. I've either caught a cold or it's the spring allergies. I don't know which.
Could be the allergies. Mine are acting up too. A lot.
Yeah, my son is miserable.
Yeah.
So, what do we have here?
So first, we decided to make the RSpec tests first because
Oh, that's
OmniAuth
good.
just has more like utilities for it.
Oh, okay.
So it would be easier to build the RSpec first before we do build the Cucumber.
Okay, that's a little odd, but I mean, I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from.
But we are having a problem with
Yeah.
our RSpec.
Okay. So, what's going on?
Before that, Shopcat, can we go back to what we already had from today? Like, it's failing for some reason.
Yeah, well, let's look at let's look at it from the start.
Did you change something, Thomas? In the
I don't
summary?
know. Maybe it's our hash. Like, we changed.
No undefined method ID for true class. Define create user equals user from omniauth. Session user ID equals user ID. So it's saying that you don't have that as a field in user. What does your schema look like?
Uh,
We don't have a dot ID. We have a dot UID.
UID. Okay.
Oh, well, then you should be using that, I would think,
So
right?
I think
I
yeah.
think it's just a name. Maybe it's just a name problem.
Like that.
Yeah, I would do that because there is no ID. Therefore there would be no ID method or
Right.
message any way you look at it.
Okay.
No.
So you're still getting the same thing and you saved everything?
Yeah, I did.
Let's see.
Uh,
Session user ID equals user ID. Oh, undefined method UID for true class. Why does it think that user is true or false? Are you getting an actual user? I mean, can you do like a P user at that point?
sure.
Right after that line, do a P
Okay.
user. Let's see what we have there. I'm wondering if user is not what you think it is. I'm sorry, I should have read that message more carefully.
Here.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. Because why is it referring to it as a true class?
So should I run the app?
Well, just run it just as before.
Okay.
No method, undefined method, UID for true class, and so you sign in, and parameters, state, code, provider. Let's look at the terminal. Your terminal. Yeah. Okay. Now slow down because okay. Yeah. Do you see? It's where we have p user. It says true. User is not what you think it is.
That is weird. I mean, our sessions controller, like that code in it is from like what Google, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Google Docs say to put.
Okay, but I think you're getting. Maybe we need to look at the API more because this just says that like there's a user.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not. You see what I'm saying? It's not telling you. It's not identifying the user. I think what you want is to identify it. So you have here select users from users where user ID equals, and then you have UID comma and then a number, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then OAuth token. So I mean, all this stuff is happening well, and then you've got this other ID one. So can I see the schema for your user?
Sure.
Okay, so somehow, I mean, the user that you're getting is not the one that you've got defined. So you've got create table users, provider, UID, name, OAuth token. Okay, so that looks good. Now, I'm trying to kind of determine, are you sending a user to OAuth or is OAuth creating a user? I don't know the flow here. You will have to take me through it.
I
Uh,
believe it's OAuth.
No, but what I'm saying is, are you entering information that goes to
Oh,
OAuth that already defines a user, or is OAuth defining a user? Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
yeah.
So we
I'm
have
not
to look at the flow. We have to look at the entire flow.
okay.
So you're creating. Okay, so this looks like you're trying. Is this you're trying to create a user, or are you trying to create a session? Yeah, maybe we should look at. Do you have like a users controller?
You have a session controller?
Okay, you got a sessions controller, but do you have a users controller?
No.
I wonder if that's an issue.
I mean, our feature was working. I think we just made some changes and now it fails everything. So
Oh, okay, but I guess what I'm saying is, do you have users defined as a model? What do you have under models? You have user and you have event.
yeah.
Yes. Can I see user? It probably is. Oh, okay. Define self from OmniAuth. User equals user find by or user new. Okay. So this is really what you want to be called if you want to get the user from OmniAuth. I mean, when you have that session controller, what it's doing, I think what it's saying is, yes, we authorize that user,
Mhm.
but that user would have to be created beforehand, right? That user would have to be registered and be in the database.
Oh, is it because I didn't return the user here?
Uh, well, I mean, I think it should return it. User save. You have user save.
I think that's the
Now,
issue.
do we want to do, are we, let me see,
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if that's the right method. Um, let's see. Should it be save or should it be create? There's some subtle differences between Ruby and Rails. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it looks like save should be fine.
Oh, okay.
Field save. Because you can. Okay. Star Wars equals. Movie create, movie new. Okay, then you save it. Save. Title. Let me just check something here.
Okay.
So in lines 5, line 5, we're creating it. Create is a method of active record. And that means it saves it to the database. Okay. So then we have 7 through. Okay. Okay, so you can use save when you're updating existing records. Yeah, okay, so let me see again what you're trying to do in your model.
Yeah, sure.
So you have define self from omniauth. User equals user from omniauth or user new. So if it exists already, it's going to find it, right? Is that what this is saying?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, it's going to make a new one.
Right.
Okay. And then you have user save. I think you have to say user create. Save works if you already see. You don't know. Well, yeah. See, here's the quandary. All right.
Uh-huh.
If it already exists in the database, and if it does, the user find will find it, right?
Right.
Then you don't need to do a user new. If you created a new user, then you actually do have to create it, not save it. I'm trying to think of how you would organize that code.
Professor, so if the user already exists, we save it, but if it's a new one, we call create, right? That's
Yeah, that's really what should happen. Of course, the question is, where does this from omniauth get called?
oh,
Is that from the session controller?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you normally, like, do you have like a registration for new users?
What do you mean?
So when a user first goes to your site,
Right.
do you have a register page where they actually save their data, their name or whatever?
No, they just have a sign with Google link, and they just click and.
Okay, so you're doing all of this with omniauth.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. And what is the information that the user provides to omniauth? What, their name and a password?
Uh,
Take me through it. Take me through it.
so there is a sign in with Google link in the BUMP's homepage, and you click on that link, and it redirects to the Google authentication or Gmail, whatever, that page.
Oh,
And
okay, so on that page, they're providing their name and their password.
yeah, right.
Okay, so you don't really keep track of the user per se.
Right.
You can get like bounce back data from them. Is that
Yep.
right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, I see a problem here in that if it's the first time that it's going to OmniAuth, you are not going to be putting that in the database. If the user already exists in the OmniAuth database, which is, I'm assuming, how all this is happening, the user already exists, then you want to piece together the rest of the information that you need. Does that make sense?
Can you say that again?
All right, so if we look at the, okay, so user from OmniAuth, and what we're finding is that basically what this is returning from OmniAuth is just returning true or false. Either it was successful or it wasn't.
Okay.
Right? Now this is a create, not an author authentication. I mean, I'm trying to kind of tease apart just exactly what you're doing in each part.
Okay.
Why don't you show me the page? Show me exactly how this is going on, and then we'll look at the OmniAuth API.
Okay.
Because I think what's going on is subtle. Find user with an out of range value for ID. That's interesting. User oracles user find. Interesting. Yeah, show me the page, your HTML HAML page. I mean, the view page.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need to see it live. I just want to see it, the view page.
Yep.
Okay, so here we have if current user signed in as succeed, do sign out, link to, okay. So you're checking in, you're first checking to see if current user has a value.
Yes.
Where are you getting this current user value?
It's in application controller here.
Yeah, but shouldn't it be an instance variable?
Uh,
I'm trying to find this and I'm not finding it. This is so annoying. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Let me see. Index. Yeah, so in your you have current user. Current user, it looks like a local variable. You don't have a local variable. You have an instance variable, right?
that's a method, right? Current user is a method. Helper method.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I see. I see. Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't read that. I looked at the name and I said, oh, okay. So if current user, and current user is a predicate. Can I see it?
Yeah, sure.
So what is being returned here?
Uh, if there is, I'm not sure.
All right. If session user find if session user ID.
Should be the user, right?
But you're treating this as if it's returning true or false. Right?
Um,
I mean, that's how you're using it. You're saying if current user. Well, current user would have to be a predicate, otherwise you couldn't use it as in that.
or can we, or current user could return null, and maybe.
Let me just check this out. Yeah, because I guess what I'm trying to say here is that sometimes this stuff is a little subtle. Let's see. So at current user is an instance of user. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and you're using conditional assignment. One, two. So you're saying that you're assigning a value to at current user only if the variable isn't already set. That's what conditional assignment is. That's the
Yeah.
or equals,
Yeah.
right? So no assignment will be made if. Why don't you? I'll tell you what. Where you have that current user, go back and do a afterwards. Before it, do a p at current user, and then afterwards do a p at current user. This is going to be a little convoluted. No. Where you were.
Okay.
So print
Yeah.
current user and then
Here.
before and
So
after.
p dot current user.
That.
No. P space. I'm sorry. Did I say dot space?
Yeah.
Current user. At current user. At current user. Yeah. I'm
But
sorry.
doesn't it not exist yet until we?
Well, we don't know. We don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
It'll be nil otherwise, right? And now right
Hmm.
after that, just say return at current user. You know, because otherwise we'll have a problem because their last statement is that P. Yeah. Okay. So let's try that and let's see what we have. Yeah, but we'll have to look at the terminal. So where is it being invoked? So, okay, we have a nil, right?
Yeah.
We have one nil. And well, we should see. So select processing, select events from event, order by date, rendered events. Record not found, couldn't find user with an out of range value for ID. And this is an application controller 7, HTML HAML 5. Rendered. And there's nothing below that, right?
No.
Okay. So record not found, could not found, couldn't find user. Let's look at application controller 7 and then index. Yeah, application 7. All right, so couldn't find that. So there wasn't anything assigned. And then when it went to find this, it couldn't find it.
Okay.
If session user ID. Find session user ID. If session user ID. Yeah, I'm not sure about the logic there either. Session user ID. I mean, you could say that it's not blank or something, but it seems like just saying session user ID is again interpreting user ID as a Boolean, isn't it?
I don't know.
Find session user ID, if session user ID, at current user, return current user. Okay, then where's your HTML? Application controller. So the application controller runs first.
Okay.
And then you're asking if current user. And I believe we tested this and said that we were getting true.
Right.
Okay. And was current user the thing that we were just looking at?
Yeah.
Can I see it again? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So somehow it was returning true, which doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What can you do a P session user ID
Sure.
above there? Now, what I think is it's crashing at 7, so it's not going further to show us what it came up with. Yeah, we have to look at the, yeah. Okay, so we see nil. Then that's what's in the session.
Right.
Okay. Now it's saying that it was an out of range value for ID. Oh, hold on. Let's look at this again. This seems to imply when active records refers to an ID, it means an ID of the database.
Okay.
For some reason, it's interpreting user ID as if that just makes no sense. Where is user ID getting stuffed?
In sessions controller, I think.
All right, because for some reason user find. Oh, well, if it's finding, if it's finding a user, it's got to find it on the record ID, not user ID is something different. I mean, you can look at user ID for another reason, but current user basically find is find works on the ID of the record, not some attribute of the record. User ID is an attribute, isn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so it's not the actual record. I think that's why I'm seeing somewhere in there a user ID of 1. Can we go back to where the terminal? Yeah. All right, so we're seeing this number, which I think is the number we want, right?
Yep.
But we're interpreting it when we ask that question that way. All right, and this would make sense why it says it can't find a user with an out of range value for ID. Because you're invoking find, it's looking for the ID of the record. And let's see if we can see that somewhere else. Because I did see somewhere that it was referring to a record that had an ID of 1. Views events. Yeah, well, I think we're at a different point in it now, because before we were failing sooner.
Right.
But do you see what I'm saying? Your invocation, either you have to have a way of recovering the record ID or storing it away or something, or you've got to do some sort of either a find by, which will incur some performance hits, or a where that gets you that record using the information you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of something you have to decide. But do you see what's going on?
Uh,
So anytime you call class name find,
okay.
what is it doing the find on? Do you have any like seed data or something where you could just spit out once an instance has been created, what it looks like, an instance of user?
Can I
No,
just
create
can I
just
can I just print the user database? I mean the table.
well, I mean, you want to see what it looks like when it's output. You want to see it retrieved and spit out.
Uh,
So you want to like basically just grab one of them and show what it looks like. And the reason I use P is because it doesn't convert it to a string. It keeps the structure. So you can see exactly what the structure is.
okay. Um,
When you create your mocks, where's your mocks? Because I see you're doing this with mocks, right?
yeah.
Our mocks are in the spec file.
Oh, okay. Now we're just running it normally. Is that right? We're not
Yeah.
using the mocks right now? Oh,
No.
okay. So that's all right. But when you create them, you do provide IDs for them, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I just want to take a quick look at that. All right. So using do mock auth. So you have a UID, you have credentials. Yeah, but I noticed that you don't have an active record ID anywhere, which you might need. But that's another story. That comes when we mock it out. But let's just look at the normal thing here. So first of all, I think you're expecting to get a user from your model method, and your model method gets called where and how?
Uh, our model method gets called in
Define.
in
Yeah, okay.
sessions controller. Yeah.
So this is the user from OmniAuth, and that's let's see your model again. That's the one we saw.
Yeah.
Okay, so define self from OmniAuth auth. Okay, and then it's supposed to get user information, right?
Yep.
But that's not what it's giving you,
No.
because you're getting true. You're getting, it's like, are we authenticated? Oh yeah, it's successful, but you're not getting the information about the user. So do we need to look at the OmniAuth API? I mean, it's all well and good that we're authenticated, but basically you also need that information about the user, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and true isn't going to cut it.
right. Um, so how do I do that?
Well, I'm just saying, where did you look at the OmniAuth API? Where is it?
Uh, I
Bless you.
Thank you.
And I can't help but wondering when I see this kind of thing going on, uh, which is, I wonder if because you only get limited information back from OmniAuth, if that's why so many sites first ask you to register before
yeah,
you log in. In other words, so that they can keep that data and have a way of matching it to what gets sent to OmniAuth and back. Because when I read about it, it sounds like basically it's a yes or no thing. Uh, so Gem, yeah, but I mean, so here's some stuff about it. But doesn't OmniAuth have an API? I mean, let's go right to it. Find the API. Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but in the chapter it says that adding the authentication is straightforward, but before you can enable a user to log in, you actually need to be able to represent the users.
right.
Well, there's an OmniAuth wiki on GitHub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably we want to go to GitHub. Oh, GitHub OmniAuth. OmniAuth is a flexible authentication. So you can see right under there, GitHub. Yeah, I think that's like at a higher level. Why don't we check that out?
okay.
And there should be a README or something. Yeah, keep on going. Standardized multi-provider authentication. Have you been here before?
No.
Okay, so I mean, you really should read this thoroughly before you try to use it.
Okay.
And you can then find out what it does provide for you and what it doesn't. If it only provides yes/no authentication, then on your side, you're going to have to do some more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. If it does depending on what you're asking it to give you, if it does spit back some information for you, then you can use the strategy that you're trying to use, but you might have to use it a little differently. You know, you if you're looking at authentication only, you can treat it as yes, no. If you're looking for user information, you can't treat that as a Boolean.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I think you're pretty well set with this information so far.
Yeah.
Integrating it into your application. Okay, it's designed to be a black box that you can send your application's users into and then get information back. It's intentionally built not to automatically associate with a user model or make assumptions about how many authentication methods you may want to use or what you might want to do with the data once a user has authenticated. You need only to redirect users where provider is the name of the strategy. From there, what do you do next? It simply sets a hash. Okay, environment request to provider callback. Okay, so the hash contains the information about the user, any information that it's able to find about the user. So you need to set up an endpoint in your application that matches to the callback URL and then performs whatever steps are necessary. Get provider callback to session create. I might then have a sessions controller with code. Yeah, user equals find or create. Oh, this is interesting. Notice they're not using that. They're not using kind of whatchamacallit. They're saying find it or create it,
Mhm.
as opposed to like save it. Find or create from auth hash. So that should give you the auth hash. Or no, you have to provide the auth hash. Self current user equals user. Okay, and then redirect to, and then the auth hash, request environment, omniauth auth. Okay. So let me see. They're saying, okay. Find or create. Omniauth key in the environment hash. All right, so we should probably look at that hash that comes back and see what all is in there.
Okay. This is a hash, right?
Find or create. Find or create. Can you copy and paste into here just as a comment the stuff that we found there
Yeah.
online? So just like take that whole area
This one?
and yeah, just
Okay.
copy it in for reference. And then I want to read a little further down. Do an equal begin. And then an equal end. Yeah, okay. And now let's read a little bit more. Keep on going. You might want to just take a quick look at the wiki. It'd be nice if they just had some normal API documentation.
Yeah.
So annoying. Yeah, just click on the wiki. No, go back. It had a link. It had a link. Go back to the previous page. Go back to the previous. Go back to where we were. Yeah. Now go down. Go down. Keep going. Keep going. And then go up just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
When in doubt, go to the horse's mouth. Right? Frequently asked questions. Okay. And keep going. Yeah, I mean, we're only using one strategy, so some of this stuff we don't care about so much. The auth information to the path. Yeah, we don't care about Sinatra, that's for sure. Yeah, keep going. Also note if the authentication. Okay, in-depth documentation. Use the sidebar on the right. Ugh. So this is the bottom of the page?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Go to frequently asked questions because I don't see anything else that's really useful. Oh, they do have API docs. Oh, I didn't see that. Go scroll down just a little bit. API docs. Wow, what does it take to find that? I mean, is that ridiculous or what?
Right.
Oh my God. I don't know. Kind of just scroll slowly, and we'll see if we can find what we're looking for. So far, it looks like the same thing we already read, which isn't helpful at all. But it does show the classes and methods.
Right.
All right. So, what are you invoking from OmniAuth to get the hash? So here, maybe we should look under auth hash.
Look under auth hash? What do you mean?
Do you see to the left the class list?
Yeah.
Info hash.
It returns a boolean.
Name does, yeah, which not useful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an alias for valid.
Okay.
In other words, is valid.
Okay.
So yeah, no help at all. To hash returns an object. So name. Well, okay, but that's that's name question mark returns a boolean. Name returns an object. It would seem that name should work. It's an instance method. Name. And I wonder what that name looks like. So, okay, so we've got a couple things here. We've got name and we've got to hash that we might want to invoke. Can you go down some more?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yep.
To hash and name. And what were you, let me see what you were calling in that method. From Omnios? Okay. So I'm confused as to like how would this get something from Omnios?
I don't know.
Because I mean, from the methods that are provided, I don't see those methods being invoked. And then there's an auth, hash or method. Okay, so you're taking in auth. What is auth? That's what you're taking in. Yeah, what is in AUTH?
Auth,
It's the
yeah,
hash?
it's this thing
Okay, Omniauth auth. And you got this information from where?
from this website.
Okay, so what does it say about that?
Yeah.
All right, class user. Well, this is
Oh, this is
in your
something.
this is your model. Self from Omniauth auth.
Uh,
But this was in your session controller, or yeah, application controller base. Can you go down and look at? I want to see current user. Define current user. Session. Oh, and then down here you have. Let's add some code to our session controller. All right, user from OmniAuth environment. OmniAuth auth. Yeah, I just wonder where they got that from. How to return the callback that OmniAuth does. Okay, so I think the first thing we should do, I mean, again, you want to go back to the root of all this and trace it. In your define create, you could put a p env omniauth auth, and because we need to find out what these things are, right? Otherwise, we have no way of knowing what to do with them. And are we even getting something? Okay, so let's see. So that was nil. Then we've got this number, and that's all we have. Could not find you. Yeah, and then we have the misuse of ID. So is that all we're getting from env
right.
omniauth auth? Because that's not giving us any information about the user, right?
Right. Right.
There's no name, there's nothing there. Do you want to just be sure? Let's go back there. Go back to the where we have the P. And do right above it, right above P, E, and V, do a put S.
Yes.
No, put S. Put string. Put S space. And then put ENV in quotes. No, it's got to be a put S. Put string. put S. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
ENV. Yeah, we're just going to label it. That's all. Okay? So we're sure that what, it is what we think we're getting. I don't see it.
Me neither.
ENV? No,
No.
I don't see it. Well, that's
What
odd.
is
So what the heck is that? Try a PENV in quotes. I mean, right now I don't know what to do. Okay, so go back and just do a PENV. Yeah. I don't know why it wouldn't take a put S, but sometimes the Rails things are funny. Oh, and you saved it? You saved it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
Yeah. Okay. PENV.
Yeah.
Because then I'm wondering what's printing out. Okay, so we're getting a nil and we're getting this number. I don't think we got there.
Right.
So I'm trying to think. We've put in a number of instruments so far. Where did we put them? We put them there and we put them one other place.
This one is the session user ID.
No, I'm saying, can we go to the code where we put our instrumentation?
Ah.
So we have instrumentation here, but we have instrumentation a couple places, right? We have it
Right.
here, and we also, I thought, had somewhere else.
Here. Application controller.
Okay. Oh, so that's the user ID, P session user ID. Yeah, let's get rid of them. So it comes up as nil, then we get this number, and then, maybe what you need here is a find by session user ID. Okay, so get rid of 6 and 7. Get rid of 6 and 7. Okay, now, yeah, and then this is where it crashes. This is why we're not seeing anything else. So you can get rid of 7. Get rid of 7. Now let's look at active record. Active record. No, I mean, like go to Ruby on Rails, the Ruby on Rails API.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now go to guides. Go to guides. Yeah. Okay. And go to active record basics. Okay. And then let's look. We should see some explanation of find by. Keep on going. If we don't, we'll look at the API directly. But keep going. Find by. Okay. So you can say find by and give it a field.
Okay.
With a value.
Right.
Okay. If you use find, that means you know the ID of the record in your database.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the problem is we don't know the ID of the record in the database. Is that right?
Yes.
Because what you're giving it is not the record. It's not the record number. So why don't we just try finding it by that session number, whatever.
Okay.
So let's see. Find by. And then you have to give the name of the field.
So is it user ID?
So is this UID? What is that? What is the number we're getting back? In what is it in our database, in the schema?
That's UID, right?
UID. Okay. So what is the syntax here?
UID. Okay.
Yeah, UID. UID colon, and then this is the value.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm not sure what if session user ID is doing.
It's checking if session user ID is null or not. Nil or not.
Okay, but I think you probably want to say something like it's not blank. And first of all, yeah, I mean, if it is blank, you're not saying what you're going to do otherwise, because then current user won't have any value and you're returning it.
Right.
So it's just going to be nil. Is that acceptable?
Yes, because if current user is nil, then you create a new.
No, but if it is nil, no, I'm saying if okay, so you're saying that if current user, if it returns this and it's nil, then that's what triggers the creation.
Yeah, in the index you can. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I need you to walk me through it.
Okay.
So I'm still, I don't know, I'm still not positive that okay. Actually, why don't you do, I just want to verify something, which would be oh, how would I do that? I guess you're assuming that this is automatically converted to a Boolean. All right, well, let's go with it for right now.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to think between Ruby and Python. Sometimes I make assumptions that are Pythonic.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, oh, well, that's only true in Python. It's not true in Ruby. And, I'm not always right.
The syntax is so close. I mean.
Yeah. And I conflate them sometimes. So, and because I do that, I tend to be more cautious. So I think, oh, if I think that that's going to work because it works in Python, I'm probably wrong. But, it's just habit, because that certainly would work in Python.
Yeah.
All right. So, you want to save this and try it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, but yeah, I guess maybe we want to see what it produces. So, yeah, stick some instrumentation back in there. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what we get, and hopefully it's something a little more sensible. It shouldn't give us an error of range anymore. If it gives us an error, it'll be something different.
Yeah. What?
Okay. Oh, undefined method UID. Well, that's okay. So user from Omniauth, p user. So that's still in the other method, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna have to figure that out. But what can I see what it gave us in the terminal?
Yeah, sure.
So I mean, I think we got that part working. Wow. Yes, we have a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's promising.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have parameters, state, code, provider. Here the env finally printed, right?
Yeah.
How about that? And then we have all this stuff. auth hash ID info. Oh, remember that ID? Didn't? Oh no, maybe it was something else. I think I'm mixing up the. We have an email here, right? We have email. So I mean, we actually have some stuff now that we can find out information about. Family name, Matthew. Given name, Thomas. Okay, so we've got names.
Right.
And we've got emails. What is HD? I don't know. And there's a UID.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so all this stuff is available. Let's see. Users where UID is, yeah, and it's even the right number. Oh, do you notice here ID 1?
Yes.
ID 1? Yeah, see, now that looks like the active record ID.
Yeah.
Okay. So, commit. And then we see the true here, which isn't helpful. And then it says undefined method for true class. Yeah, see, it's just that we're invoking the wrong method there, I think. So we got past the first hurdle.
Yeah.
So I guess now let's look at the second. At least now we have some data to work with, right?
Right.
Okay. This stuff is always fun to work with, especially since I don't know if you're aware of it, but the interface between OAuth and a user has changed constantly in the last few years.
Yeah.
Every time I go to do this, it's different from the time before. And it does improve, okay? It actually, believe it or not, used to be harder. But it's like every year they find out new things they have to like code against, to keep things secure. And at the same time, they find ways of making it more streamlined. So, it's like it's a moving target. Can we look at the code again? So let's look at the code that's working now, and then go on to the code that isn't working.
Right. So the word. So this one just works, right?
Okay, so we have user find by UID. I'm not sure. No, let's look at the other code. Is it the other code that's working? I'm not sure. Session. Okay, yeah, this is the stuff that's not working. But we did see env, and we are seeing what OmniAuth is, and we're invoking from OmniAuth user and session user ID equals. Oh, that's interesting. So I thought our user did have a UID. Redirect to root path. Oh, okay, but I think we're still getting a true or a false from our. Let's go. Yeah, let's go back to our method from OmniAuth. Okay, so I think we've overcome some of the problems because we now have using that what we get from OAuth, and OAuth has that UID. So we're finding or creating the user, and see, here's where it's still a little sketchy. So user attributes equals, provider, UID, name, auth. See, what concerns me is, are we doing this for the example we have right now? Are we actually doing this for the first time?
No, we had a working program before, and
No,
we
no,
just
no, 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 no. I'm saying, are we actually, are we creating the user this time? Or is the user new the first time? I mean, when we bring up the program, what's the story? Does this user already exist?
yeah, it already exists.
You sure about that?
Yes, because I already registered. My name was already there in the database before.
Okay. I'm tempted to just throw something in to just absolutely be sure that this is true. Let's see. Got so many damn things here. You know how it is when you have a million tabs open, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, let me just find something. So can you do I know this sounds silly, but write, make a new line after 2.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. After 2. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like that. Okay. And do a P, user dot find, and then as the argument, just put 1. Yeah. I would like to see what that produces. Hmm?
Undefined.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry. I meant capital U. It's a class method.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I wasn't very specific. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So we should be able to see it. I probably should have labeled it because there's so much stuff here now. It's hard to tell where the stuff comes from. I think this would be a little higher up, maybe. So,
Yeah, this should be it.
parameters, provider, env, user ID 1, provider, Google Lock, UID, name. Okay. Auth, created at, updated at. Okay. So now this is that record, and
Mhm.
it should find it. It does have a field UID. Yeah, so I'm a little confused why we run into that that no UID issue, because we can see it. Okay, and it does update it. It says it updates it.
Mhm.
So notice that's not a create, that's an update. I still think you might have a problem in creating it to begin with. But you've already seeded the database. Is that the idea?
Uh,
How did that record get in there?
Um,
No, I'm just saying that when you set up the schema and everything, did you seed the database?
uh, yes.
Go to the DB. Go to the DB folder. Yeah, there. Oh, can I see the seeds? Okay, so you seeded events. I don't see any users. So you were able to create a new user via your interface? It looks that way because there's no seating here for a user,
We
right?
used it.
I'm sorry?
We were able to create a new user before.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, yeah, obviously. Okay, so that worked.
Yeah.
That may be going through a different pathway. All right. The only thing that concerns me is the code I saw that it's either going to create a new one or it's going to use the one it recognizes, the old one.
Yeah.
And in the case where it recognizes an old one, there's no problem. But in the case where it creates a new one, it just concerns me that you're doing a save, which is what you would do for an update rather than a create.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this would be initially, there might be a problem. Afterwards, it's no problem.
Okay.
But, and I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to make sure that that problem doesn't happen. Basically, if the ID is nil, if you set up the attributes and the ID is nil, that means it's newly created. It hasn't been saved to the database yet.
Mm-hmm.
In which case you might want to redirect it to create or something so that it gets created. Otherwise, you can just save it. And I'm wondering, as far as your logic is concerned, maybe you should. Do you have a user's controller? No? Yes?
No.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm just trying to think of if you're going to need one. Maybe you don't need one, but maybe you're just going to invoke the create or the save accordingly. All right, so we don't need to look at this. We've answered the question.
Okay.
And let's go back to the code and see what is going on. So we know that we're getting this big bunch of stuff from OmniAuth. And did we see, can we look at the terminal again? We should see environment. We should see what is being put in, so environment, and then this is what's being sent to us. And then afterwards, we should see the user.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, okay, let's go back. Go back to the code again. Sorry, I'm ping-ponging so much. But where it says p user,
Mm-hmm.
make a new line, and then do a p user in quotes. Yeah, let's label it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll see what it's doing. Quotes. Okay. And where
True.
is our little... Yeah. Now, why on earth, with all this data, are we getting true? That's the weird part. Okay. So we see we're getting the input that we should be able to use, but then we're not creating a user. And you can see it, right?
Yeah.
It's all there. UID equals, and the information is there. Yeah, so somewhere something is going awry. All right, so one more time. Let's look at the code. So this is all good. All right, so this is saying basically that our from OmniAuth method,
Mhm.
which we've cleaned up quite a bit, okay, is still just returning a Boolean. It's not returning a user. Okay, so I think the code here is fine. We still have some boo-boo in our model. All right, so user equals user find by do a p user after that line 4. And let's see this again. Oh, we should have labeled it. We'll never know where the heck it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, that p user find 1, label that too, right above it. User from DB or something like that. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, great. Let's see. So, what do we see? User from model. Okay. Provider. I don't see. Oh no, I see a UID, right? So user find 1, we see that.
Yeah.
And then this is the user that we get when we invoke that UID. It's there. The hell? Okay. And then you've got an update where users. Oh, look at this. Do you see what you have here? Update user set OAuth token updated at where user's ID equals, and you're using the OAuth token. Do you see how that's being filled? That's not right.
Okay.
Let's look at how this is being updated.
So should we
And
call it ID instead of?
well, I'm trying to think. Let's look at the code again, because yeah, something is just a little off.
Should I call it ID here?
Session user ID. Oh, maybe. I don't try that. Try that before we mess with the. Well, we're still getting true or false though. Remember, we're still getting true or false. So we have to fix something before we get this far. Yeah, so there's something wrong when we update everything, that we're returning the wrong thing. Undefined method ID for
Same
yeah, still. Yeah. And we saw that it is in fact returning true, which is no help at all. So again, the model method is something's wrong with the model method. So yeah, let's look at that again.
Look at here.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, we're already wrong before we get here. So we have to look at the other one.
So it might be useful to save, right?
Yeah, maybe, but I'm thinking there's probably something even more wrong there. Well, yeah, but save will update attributes. Okay, it just won't create a new user. Okay, so we have user attributes equals.
So what if I print
Now,
user
if
here?
we okay, I've got a question. If we already if it's able to find the user, all right, why do we have to give it? Is this saying it's for this session? That the token would be different. Yeah, we'd have to definitely update the token.
Right.
So auth UID, auth info name, auth provider, auth token. Yeah, see, I don't think it should be a user save. Wouldn't it be? Oh well, actually, yeah. I'm thinking. I have to straighten out what's a model action or a controller action and what's the actual active record method. So yeah, it would seem that save should work for.
Should I print user after here? Like here?
Yourself. Yeah, it's yeah. Do a P on user, and then P user, and then I guess return user. I wonder if for some reason it's not being returned. Because we know that we're getting a valid user from that line above, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any validations or something that it could fail that's making it like null out? I don't think so.
It just doesn't work for some reason.
Are you clicking?
Yeah, I'm clicking. Like, I mean, look at the URL.
Oh, that's interesting. It's not doing anything now.
Yeah.
Let's look at the terminal.
So this is the user after save.
Okay, it's a perfectly good user, right?
Yeah.
Does this match your schema?
Should be.
Okay, because you want to make sure it's exact.
Yeah.
And then it's redirected. Okay, whoa, go back. Oh, I see what you're doing. So provider UID name, auth token, auth expires at. Okay, provider UID name. Auth. So if you got 5 items, right? Provider UID name, auth token, auth expires at. Yeah. I mean, it looks It looks perfect. Now we've got it's redirected. Redirected to root?
Yeah.
Wait, so they're logged in, but it's just being redirected to the root path?
Yeah, and that's really weird. Why would it do that?
Well, it should, but it should be displaying the signed in as Thomas Matthew and then the log out button
Yeah.
on the right.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't know if that would be something in our view, maybe.
Could be in your view, could be in your routes, right?
So it says in
Okay,
index.
so if it goes to your root path, then it's not going to the sessions controller. Is that?
Possibly.
Well, can we look at your rake routes? Yeah, one of the things that concerns me is basically every action should be controlled by a controller. All right, so you're going back and forth. If you go, yeah, it didn't even say redirect. That's a little disturbing. So you have sessions create. Now, where did we start out? So you did a login. We were on the home page, right?
Right.
Can I see where is the? Let's see, prefix. Okay, root get events index. I would put that root get. I would put that below because you really want to go to the actual events index, not be redirecting to root. No, what I'm saying is in your resources, put root to below your resource, but don't worry about that just now. So from that, where are we going? What path do we go to when we hit that login button?
Um, let's see.
Home?
When you click login, it should go to /auth
Yeah.
/Google /callback, I believe.
Okay.
Or
Oh
not,
yeah.
Okay.
or just that, yeah. Or just auth, Google auth too.
Okay. Is that the sessions create?
Um,
Sessions create. See, you've got like a couple here. You got sessions create get, and then you've got sessions destroy get, and then you've got a home show, and then under that you've got this auth provider callback sessions create. Which,
What's home show?
yeah, I
I've
don't
never
know.
seen that.
Yeah. Do you have like a landing page or something?
I don't think so.
That's weird. Can I see your routes? It would be under config.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you've got Rails application routes draw do. Yeah. Why do you have get home show? And not only that, but you have so much of this stuff. Well, I guess some of the stuff from OAuth, I guess you have to do it the way they say. So
Yeah.
you've got resources, sessions, only create and destroy. You have a resource home. What is that? I thought your
I don't
resource
remember
was
seeing
root.
that.
I thought your
Yeah.
resource was events. And you've got root to home show. This is like confused. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Can you comment that out and let's see what happens? I don't know if do you know if somebody put that in because OAuth requires it?
Maybe. Uh,
I just don't know. And then you have root events index. Yeah, put that underneath resources events.
uh, put what? This?
See, line 21 and 22, switch places. And then do rake routes again. No, do rake routes. Okay, rake routes. So we have sessions create and destroy. We still have another sessions create, which that's kind of weird. Auth provider callback. I would think that would have another name. So in your sessions controller, it's saying you have a create method, a destroy method, and for some reason you have another create method. That looks a little, not so right. Then you have auth failure. That's all right. Sign out. Get sign out. Sessions destroy. Okay, so you've got two of those too. It's very weird. And you've got a sessions post and a session delete. Offense get. Okay, index create new.
Is there supposed to be that many sessions destroys?
Yeah, see, this looks strange. You've got multiple. You've got different URIs matched to the same method, which seems odd.
And if I'm correct, I think sessions destroy is only called when you click logout, so that it clears any data you see.
Yeah, and you've got 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 3 of them.
3, and you've got 1, 2, 3 creates. Right? That seems a little odd. Well, I don't know. I'm interested to see what it does at this point.
Okay. The same thing.
Well, more important, I want to see the terminal. So, do you have destroy done yet? Okay, so user save. There's the user. There it is. And then you're redirected to root again, which makes no sense.
User used to be true or false, right?
Yes. And now it's you can see that we actually have a user.
Yeah.
All right. It's got a UID, but we're being redirected to someplace crazy.
Yeah.
Now you want to go back to the index page, right?
Yep.
Okay. Go to all right. So go to your code. Yeah, see, I'm not sure that this is entirely RESTful, but let's see what we can do to just get this working. So you're going to return user
to
and you've got to redirect as well. So yeah, and when you say destroy, redirect to root path, don't ever use root path. Okay. It should be your whatever events path, users path, whatever, but not root path. basically the only thing you do at root is redirect it to your index page, right? You don't want to be sending things to the root.
Event path, like
I think well, what is your index? Is it events path? Is that what it is? You tell me. Do you have your rake
Oh, what
routes
is it?
available still?
Yeah, what is it saying?
Yeah. Where's those rake routes? By the way, it's very useful to have one terminal so that you can do this sort of stuff in, and the other terminal, keep the server up.
right.
Okay, so event get, root get, events. Okay, so you've got an index page associated with events. Interestingly here, you've got 2 associated with update, which doesn't seem quite right either. But yeah, so this would be the events path. Yeah, you sure as hell don't want to send it to route or to root, because it's going to redirect twice, right? If you send it to root, root gets redirected to events. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So, like you're going in circles. Redirect to events path.
Should I try it again?
Yeah, might as well. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay. So, did it still fail?
Yeah. Okay.
And we still get the same message, or what? Oh, it's just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically now it's sort of doing the right thing, but our flash message isn't coming up. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got an HTTP 302, which means that a redirection was performed, right? But
Yeah.
for some reason, we're not seeing the flash. Did you set the flash?
It's not a flash actually.
Okay.
In our index.html file,
Mm-hmm.
we have a div
Mm.
that's right above. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what Google had. So just like copy and pasted it.
Yeah, yeah. Now why is that not doing anything? Interesting.
Can we put in the current user?
Could it be should it be if wait, is it current user? Yes.
And current user is oh, wait a minute. Current user is you're saying it's a method, but a method of what? User? What's your receiver here? It's in your model user.rb, right? Oh, this is in
Application control.
application controller?
oh, okay. Okay. I see how you're using it then. Hmm. Are you supposed to have a div there for Hamel like that? I thought there was a different way that you had to encode it in Hamel.
No.
I think that's how it's done. Pretty sure.
I don't know. Try getting rid of that div. Save it.
No.
Still nothing.
Okay.
That is so weird. Let's look at the Hamel again. Because I think now it's getting the correct data, right? We're not getting any errors. We're on the page. We're just not seeing what we need to. Dedent that whole block.
That?
Yeah. Huh. Now it's back. All right. Nil. Now what is nil? Do you know where this nil is coming from?
Oh. It's not user.
It would have to be somewhere we didn't label,
Is
right?
it current user?
Okay. Yeah. Current, yeah.
Yeah, it's current user.
Oh, well, that's not good, is it? No wonder it's not showing up. So before we were getting like a true we couldn't get rid of. Now we seem to have straightened that out. But now we're getting a nil. And for that matter, okay, so select events. Current user. Why don't you try some code up above there? You can say if session user ID, if session,
Oh.
yeah, you know, put s true or something.
Okay.
Well, make it a string so we can see it. Yeah, and then else, you know, put s else false. Put s, yeah.
I might need an end.
Mm, mhm. Yeah.
True.
True.
Okay. And yet current user is nil, which makes no freaking sense. I'm curious about one other thing too. Where you have this code, it's the other method, isn't it? Oh no, it's this one. Okay, so now if you didn't have this if session user ID, wouldn't it just make at current user null?
Yes, that's what I thought.
Or would
Yeah,
it throw
well,
an error?
I don't know. Can you comment out the end of that and let's just see what happens?
Here?
Yeah, just comment it out. Just put a hash there. Yeah. User, current user. Okay.
Should I run it?
Yeah.
Still saying no.
Still saying no. Okay. So let's take another look at that. So you're finding by current user find by, and you know the session user ID. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just quit sessions?
Yeah, right, definitely. Actually, yeah, you can, exactly. Yeah.
One.
Hmm.
Should be
So
that?
so that is the active record
Yeah.
ID.
Right.
Okay, so user ID is the active record ID. It's
Right.
not the UID.
No.
All right, so let's see what that means with respect to the code. So we're going to find it by ID, not by UID.
So like that.
Yeah, try that.
Uh, that should work.
Yeah, and I don't think you need that if.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Fabulous. Ah, I am so relieved. I thought I was going nuts there for a while.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. These IDs will get you every time, I swear. It's, I've said this to other people before. When you have an error that you just can't seem to get a handle on and everything looks right, and it's not working, 9 times out of 10, it's something to do with a freaking ID. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
there you go.
we had UID, we had user ID, we had ID. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it causes such confusion. And that's why, I mean, you either have to use the debugger or you have to put instrumentation in. Otherwise, you really don't know what you're working with. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So hopefully, in the future, keep in mind that when you run into a situation like this, it's not going to help like going online and trying to see different pieces of code or stuff like that. It's like, see what you have. See what you
Right.
have. And then 9 times out of 10 you'll be able to work it through, even if you have to go like we really went line by line. right?
Right.
You know, to straighten out what is it that we really wanted, what is it that we were really getting, you know, how could we use what we were getting, and it gets really complicated. But there it is.
Yeah.
Success.
That's
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I don't know about you, but that makes my day.
so first with RSpec,
Yeah.
Yeah, because now we still have to come up with the RSpec tests.
Uh-huh.
uh,
Uh-huh.
And would it still work with just adding like the mock auths?
It should. Now, have you thought about because you're not you did do some code in the model, right?
Yeah.
You did some code in the model. You didn't do any code in like the events or the
The control?
or a user controller. You just did the session controller, right?
Yeah.
Which sometimes, you know, we don't write our spec for.
Okay. So should we just worry about making that cucumber test?
I would do the cucumber test and I would do the model test. So in your model, can I see the code again?
yeah.
By model
It,
test, you just mean like
in the
once a user
model.
created, the
In
user exists, right? Like that.
okay. Now also you're kind of doing this unnecessarily. You can just say you don't need the rspec dot describe. You can just say describe, and then it'll be dot user. No, it's describe. Yeah, you wouldn't say type model. Because you've got it so that your spec has has all its like the spec directory has everything laid out according to your where things are. Like it knows it's a model test because it's in that user model. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that make any sense? Let me see. I'm trying to think. But basically, you can have a little more streamlined code there, because that's the way you would have to describe it if, like, you didn't say, "Look, I'm going to put everything in uh, the proper directories." You see what I'm saying? Let me see what I have here. This is. I just had it, and it's like, where did I put it? Am I looking in the wrong place? What the hell? Oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that. That. Don't need that. All right, what is this? Ah, here it is. Okay. Sorry, I'm taking a while. I'm getting lost. So you can just say describe capital user do, all right, and then indent underneath that.
Okay.
So a new line. No, go after do, a new line, then say describe, and then in quotes, this B, yeah, BE, in quotes, pound sign, or wait, this is a class method, right? Class method?
Uh,
The method that you wrote in the model is a class method, isn't it? Self dot blah blah blah.
yeah. Right. Right.
Okay, so then it's not, I'm sorry, it's not a hash. Backspace over that, it's dot.
Okay.
Describe dot, the name of the method.
So
Yeah,
from
from omniauth. Yeah, the name of the method, do. Yeah, and then you're going to say, okay, it creates or updates itself from an OAuth hash do. Okay, so just indent that. And you need to have several it groups. You don't put all your expectations all in one group. Okay. You would let me look at your code. I can describe to you what you have to do. You're going to need several it groups. So it's user.rb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and you can get rid of all that instrumentation. Don't forget, because you don't want all that stuff showing up, right? Yeah. Just, get rid of, yeah. And you'll have to do that with the other method as well. Don't forget. Okay. I still have a question for how this actually created it the first time, but, it's working. So if you run into a problem again where it's not doing it the first time, then you know that you have to do something a little bit different. Okay, so user attributes. Okay, so you would expect that user receives find by with the argument when user exists. Okay, that would be one it group. You would expect that a new user is created when user doesn't exist. Okay, so you'll have to mock out all this stuff.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you a list real fast, and then I'm going to go if that's okay with you.
Okay.
All right, so so that'll take care of the first line. Now, as you proceed, you're going to need those values. So you're going to have to, for following tests, you're going to have to say allow, user to blah, 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 and then return blah, okay? So the first two are expectations for both sides of that. And then the next one would be you allow that first statement to go ahead, and then you expect that, let's see, that these values, would match, that user attributes would, I guess, be equal to these values. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do one at a time or whatever. But you would have an expectation of that. Then you would have expect, your user to receive save, exclamation point. You would then have the code. Well, of course, for all of these, you have to have the trigger code. You have to, have the, actually invoke the, invoke the method. Like you'd have to say user dot from omniauth, and then have the provide the parameter. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, then provide the parameter, because it's a class method. So you'd have to trigger that to happen, right? Now, for the next test, you'd have to employ the assigns method. The assigns method looks at the stuff that's returned from the method after it's called. And so you would say like assigns user and what the value of user should be. All right. And then you'd also have a test that it, let me see, this redirects, doesn't it? Yeah, it just occurred to me that nowhere are we saying that it should redirect. And in order to be RESTful, we shouldn't just let it fall out from the routes.
So
Should
redirect from where?
yeah, what's the, I'm trying to think of what the correct syntax is. I'm going to return it and redirect. Yeah, so you want to redirect and send it, and send that stuff to it. So the redirect is going to contain the user as an argument to the redirect, right?
Yep.
So it would be redirect to users or events path, right? Redirect to events path, and then in parentheses you'd send it. Yeah. Now I don't understand, why isn't user an instance variable? Shouldn't it be?
Maybe I don't know.
I mean, online they didn't have
Yeah,
any
that's
instance.
just sort of interesting.
Would it change much, though?
I'm just thinking, yeah, maybe it doesn't have to be because it's going to the controller for events instead of going to a page. If you have anything that isn't working right, just try changing user to an instance variable. But you know, as far as, instead of saying return user, you should probably say redirect to events underscore path, and then in parentheses user, so it gets sent, right?
In the model class?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's in the model. I'm sorry, it's not in the model class. What an idiot I am. I'm forgetting which file I'm in. Yeah, the session has that, right? Oh, okay. It is there. It is there. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just that's like totally idiotic on my part. No, it's just a return. Sorry.
No
I'm
problem.
getting very confused as to which file I'm in. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah. No, that looks good. And of course, yeah, you don't have to worry about. I know what was confusing me. I kept on thinking I was in a controller instead of a model.
Right.
Yeah, and with the model, you just have to trigger the invoked, and that it's gonna, you know, different things are gonna have different values. So yeah, that looks good. So just make sure that you have an it group for each of these expectations. You don't put more than one expectation in one it group.
Okay.
Okay. And each one is labeled with exactly what it is you're expecting.
Okay.
I'm trying to think in a model. So you're going to have to show, at the end, you should show what you return. I'm trying to think of what's the correct syntax for that. Let me think. should be right over here. Controller, structure. Huh. I thought they had some examples for this. Because this isn't helpful. Yeah, I thought I had some useful stuff here for model methods, but I'm probably thinking of another book. Let me see if I could find it real quick.
So, Professor, after we
Yeah.
finish this our spec test for for like checking the Google login, we just have to create a Cucumber one for that, right?
Yeah, I think that should be fine.
Right.
And I sent a couple of articles that showed how to do that.
Okay.
On Slack.
Yeah. Oh, I think you forgot to post one of the links.
Oh, really?
Like you wrote, here's an article specific to OAuth Rails Cucumber.
Oh,
but
are
then
you serious?
I don't think you posted the link right after.
Oh crap, that's not good. Because now I don't know where it is. Oh my god. Okay, so I'll have to look for that again. I don't know what happened then. Well, that's really annoying. I'll try to find it again and post it. Oh, that's really annoying. Everybody okay there?
Yeah.
Okay, something similar. There's an interesting forum article on the topic. It might be, it just might be that I started to write it and then I accidentally pressed return instead of new line, and that it's that one right below. Let me see. I know one showed how to do it. Let's see. Oh, this is authentication. Yeah, shit. This isn't the one. Let me see this one. Okay. Oh, auth Rails Cucumber. Okay. I'm going to try copying this and doing a search. I might have found it. Let me see. Stubbing OAuth with Capybara. I don't know if this one uses. It might not use Cucumber. Of course, you could just use Capybara if you can do it that way. Yeah, okay, so it has Cucumber steps too. Yeah, okay. So here's one that might be helpful. I know I had another one though. Zero sum.
Oh, I
integration.
read this. Me and Thomas tried implementing this one, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we had
only
trouble with
thing
the
about it
factory.
is, yeah,
you had trouble with the factories.
yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of times they use the factories. Yeah, if you can figure out how to use it, it's pretty. It's a pretty good way to test it. Logic
I
via
mean, yeah, we
Cucumber.
can try.
Cucumber. Oh yeah. See, here's another. This is great. So this guy has this article testing OmniAuth based login via Cucumber, which would be perfect the way he describes it. And then he says the basics can be found in this gist, and he doesn't have the
Oh,
link.
yeah, I saw that one too.
Oh.
I was
We've
just
been
like,
Yeah.
wow.
we've been googling this for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know, I seriously, I found the perfect article. What the hell did I do with it? I can't believe I didn't put it down here. I might have gotten the link off of Stack Overflow article. Categories. Authentication. Oh, this is RSpec and Cucumber. Default host. Have sign-in. Okay, visit. There's one that looks pretty simple and that might work. Copy. I mean, the thing is, your Cucumber test should be really simple. It shouldn't be anything complicated.
Right.
Cucumber. Now, this one looks kind of interesting. The forum one up here, where is it? The one that was in the forum? The interesting thing about that was that Dave Chilimsky answered it. And he's the go-to guy for RSpec, but he knows a lot about Cucumber and RSpec. So we have here RESTful Authentication in Cucumber by David Chilimsky.
Mhm.
When I'm logged in as a user, I'm not sure. When using Cucumber, it's not actually working. Yeah, he just basically gives some suggestions. And I don't know if this has really useful stuff or not, but he's a good guy to rely on for knowing what's what. And I just noticed something that's goofy about my search. I still can't believe that one from Pivotal has no code. That's just unbelievable.
Professor, I'm really sorry. I have to go right now.
Oh, well, don't be sorry. I'm dithering here, trying to. It just kills me that I can't find that stupid.
Professor, it's fine. We can like research it too on our own time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. I just feel bad that somehow I missed pasting the article, and it was really a good article. It showed how to do it with exactly the stack we're using, and it showed how to do it with either just plain Capybara, using the rack as the driver, which is what we do, all right, and using Capybara with WebDriver as the driver, which we don't have to do.
Right.
So I thought, oh, this is perfect. And of all the stupid things I could do, I didn't paste it. So I apologize for that. That is amazing. Just friggin' amazing. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great day.